host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we're going to be breaking down some pitching when it comes to the Friday Monster 14-game slate. A lot to like on there. This is a pitcher's slate, man. If you're in tune with pitching, this is going to be a slate that you're going to want to be a part of, man. This is a very solid pitching slate, and we're going to break it down, chop it up. All right. Lafayette Payne just stepped in. What's happening, big homie? What's happening, man? Cool, man. Everything's good. Everything's good. We're about to get it in. So, and I like to throw out the disclaimer, man. Talk a little bit about why I do this the way I do it. Okay, because especially on a 14-game slate, you know, to me, cherry picking plays is very similar to what they try to get us to do when it comes to that arcade shit, right? And that's why, you know, stacking is so important to me. And it's very important to a lot of us here in the sweatshop. That's how we get to the cash line. If you stack the right team, man, you have no problems scoring enough to get you to cash line. And in some spots, if you roster a low-owned stack, the way I attempted to do today, and the way some others did when they stacked San Diego or Detroit, you run away with the money, right? So in tonight's show, now lineups have not been finalized yet for the Friday slate. We don't know exactly who's going to be playing and what the batting orders are going to be. We don't know that yet. So in my estimation, it would be premature for us to start setting lineups or really digging into, you know, players and where they're going to be hitting it and what we think they're going to be doing. It's premature, in my opinion. The one thing we do know going into today's slate, the 14 games is that we have a fairly decent read on who's going to be pitching. And that's why here in the first class, that is what we highlight. We highlight pitching. We highlight BVP matchups that we're going to be taking a look at in just a few moments. We also want to take a look at weather concerns and conditions, because those are items that, you know, if we know those now, if we get a good read on those now, that can help us when those finalized batting orders come out at around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? The homie says, don't give them too much of that stack info. They better get up in here. And that's real. But I don't really have a lot of stack information for you right now. I just don't have it because I don't know the batting orders. And that's why it's so important for you to not only, you know, check me out here when we talk about pitching, we talk about BVP, and we talk about, you know, maybe some premature kind of stuff that we like to talk about. But that's why it's so imperative that you join us here in the sweatshop. So when we do our line drives at 5, that's only exclusive to the Facebook VIP. When we do those, you can definitely, you know, chop it up with some of the greatest minds in DFS. Okay? Because I don't want you to get it twisted, man. Since our website went live December 2nd, DraftKings and or FanDuel has paid out over $550,000 to the DFS sweatshop, and that's all real. Check the stats, baby. Go back and read the tweets, right? So we have a proven track record of winning, or at the very least you're gonna do if you jump in with us is become a better player. At the very least, will you win $1 million? You could. Will you be profitable? You damn sure can. Will you become a better DFS player? Certainly, and that's what it's about. So taking a look here, I like to show you what I've done, because I really feel like I really feel like if I can't come back and show you when I lose, I shouldn't show you when I win. Now, I was on somewhat of a heater, man. 4 straight days of just excellence. It was really, really dope. Really great lineups, really good stacks, really great advice. Jay Freeze, what's happening, big homie? Today came to a screeching halt, and it just so happened that I was not very comfortable. with today's slate. I just wasn't. I didn't have that comfort that I had been having over the past few days, and a lot of it had to do with DeGrom not playing. A lot of it had to do with the weather concerns that we had in so few games. There were so many different weather concerns. Kind of, you know, I just felt like, fuck it, I'm gonna just throw some shit up and see if it sticks on the wall. And unfortunately tonight, I did not cash on a single lineup. I played 3 lineups, didn't cash in any of them. The beautiful thing is I played about 5% of my bankroll. That's half of what I normally play. So I didn't give much back. As a matter of fact, I kind of gave back what I won in the early. So it is all good, man. We are ready to charge on into today's monster 14-game slate. So let's go ahead and get it started. This is a quick recap of what I did today. This lineup, this one was a Mets stack. And when Lucas Duda hit that jack early in the game, I was like, yes. Pomerantz was cooking. I knew I had Kenta Maeda coming up later. Thought he was going to be in a good spot. Seager, I liked some Dodgers guys. Ryan Braun killed me in this one, being taken out of the game. Conforto really was boom or bust today, and he did not boom. He busted. I went with a Texas stack here. Knew I was going to get him at very low ownership. Liked the way they had been hitting against right-handed pitching. Against left-handed pitching, some of the right-handed bats. And some of that came to fruition with guys like Elvis Andrus. Delano DeShields was pretty decent. Noma got on base one time, but just did not get the pop that I thought I was going to get from one of the left-handed guys. Most notably, Mike Napoli and Jonathan Lucroy from the right-handers. I just did not get the pop I thought I was going to get from him. Now, I played Robbie Ray here. Should have went Drew Pomerantz. Only had him in one lineup. Right? Seager just walked. That doesn't help me, though. Here, Kenta Maeda, Robbie Ray. Again, I did not get as much exposure to Pomerantz as I should have. Jake Lamb fell off a cliff today. Blanco was a guy that did well. This was an Arizona stack. Toward the end of the day, I just got scared. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to play an Arizona stack and see what happens. And that just did not pan out. Didn't pan out to be a great play, especially since Jake Lamb completely busted. These are from the early, man. The earlies went well. I made the money I made in the early is what I used to build these three bum-ass lineups. So I kind of gave that back. So all in all, the week is still very profitable. I'm still happy about it, for the week so far. But let's go ahead, man. We're going to jump into this slate of games. We're going to take an overall look at the slate, see exactly what's going on. Now, we go standard because that arcade shit is for suckers. That's just real talk. I'm just giving it to you real. Taking a look here. We've got 14 games starting at 7:05. So that means we're going to get the entirety of the slate. It's going to be all in one throw. It's all going down at 7:05. We got 14 games here. Now, inside of that, we're going to have a 4-game turbo, a 3-game night, and then 2 games in the late. Now, if you are someone who is overwhelmed by a 14-game slate, if it's too much for you to digest, too much for you to take in, by all means, play those smaller ones. Play the turbo. Play the nights. You're not, it's your money, bro. You're not obligated if you feel more confident in the smaller slate. If you feel confident there, you're not obligated to go out and play the 14 games. But me, that's where I live, baby. Bring it. I love them 14-game slates, and we're going to get it in. So let's go and open this up because we're going to use this to verify some of the pitching. Now, I'm going to be working from a few different applications that I have on my computer. I'm talking about RotoQL. I'm gonna use that template without their projections because those are paid projections. I'm gonna use that template of the games in order to run through those smoothly and take a look at each game. I'm gonna go back and double check, verify the pitching over on DraftKings, and we're gonna be using for BVP Swish Analytics, a very nice site. You want to use that for any of your BVP needs, things like that. They also have optimization software. I kind of like the one from RotoQL. That's the one that I use the most. So you're more than welcome to patronize those, man. Really, really solid tools there. Then I'm going to be using Fangraphs, a completely free website. I love the word free, F-R-E-E. Great stuff there. So we're going to be checking that out as well. So let's go ahead, man. We're going to pop open RotoQL, man, and kind of run through this, man, and kind of jump into the pitching. Really take a look at what we have as far as pitching on today's slate. So the first pitch goes out at 7:05. It is my New York Yankees at home defending the Bronx with 10-mile-per-hour wind out to a right field. We've got 11% chance rain in this spot. The game should play without any incident. Tone Loc, what's up, big homie? Yo, bankroll management was the key today, baby. It was the key. So take a look here. We've got there you go. We've got the Oakland Athletics and my New York Yankees. 9-run total here. Kind of digging this game already. We've got Kendall Graveman and Masahiro Tanaka. Let's go ahead and check on DraftKings. Make sure that is in fact the guys that we're going to be seeing. Bam, we got Tanaka, Graveman. Solid. We know we're ready to roll there. Okay, now Graveman at 5.5K against the Yankees, no. Masahiro Tanaka at 8.1 against the Oakland Athletics. I kind of like it, but I do have some trepidation there. I do, and for the simple fact that they have been hitting the ball pretty well lately. Now let's go check out some of the batting stats, the team stats for the Oakland A's, man, to see exactly where they stack up in respect in respect to the rest of the league. All right, let's go and check it out. All right, so here we see the Oakland Athletics are 4th in the league in K rate, 23.5% K rate. Now, the one thing that you got to be careful with when you look at these K rates, man, is you also want to check out ISO, because you want to know if this is a team that strikes out a ton because they're just bad at putting the bat on the ball, or is it a team that is swinging for extra bases, so they end up a lot of times, striking out, swinging for the fences. So we check out the ISO here, and we're going to see, man, that the Athletics are actually quite high in ISO. The team ISO is quite high. I mean, they're right there, 3rd in the league in team ISO, 190 ISO. So that means when these guys do put the bat on the ball, they can definitely hit for extra bases. So that's something that you're gonna want to take a look at. No one will play Tanaka. He's been a Shelly lately. I can think that. It makes sense. It makes sense. And it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough to play Tanaka against these Oakland Athletics, man, because they have been hitting the ball very hard lately. They really have. So checking out their team WOBA. We got the team WOBA for them set at where we at? The A's are 18th in the league in team WOBA, 317. That's not great, not horrible. It's sort of middle of the pack. What app is that called you're using? I'm using RotoQL. I'm using Fangraphs, and I'm also using Swish Analytics, but I haven't opened that one up yet. We're gonna be talking about that in just a moment. So the team WOBA is the only thing that might allow us to even contemplate playing Tanaka, and that coupled with the K rate are things you want to take a look at, because this team is still swinging for the fences, man, and Tanaka can get a few balls by him, and he gets in a rhythm. Well, we could see a 7 to 10 strikeout game for Tanaka in this spot. So be on the lookout for that, and also be careful there. So take a look at the Yankees, man. Their highest WOBA in the league, 350, going against Kendall Graveman. Okay, they're also really good in K rate. I think they're toward they're one of the best teams in the league as far as K rate goes. I think they're where the Yankees at? Oh, actually, no. Actually, the Yankees are 6th in the league in K rate. The Yankees strike out a ton. Alex Wood is one of the best pitchers in the league, but I don't know if I can use him without. Okay, I got you. That's real. But they also have a 185 ISO. That's pretty good. The league's best, one of the league's best WOBAs in this spot. So Yankees are good to go. I definitely think you can play some Yankee bats in this spot, and that would definitely relieve me of any thought I had of playing Kendall Graveman in this spot. That's just not a guy that I can play. Not against the Yankees. Cannot play Kendall Graveman. But don't sleep on the Oakland A's bats. Do not do that. Next game we got is going to be the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, this game, 2% chance of very light rain here, 14-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field in Citizens Bank Park. We got Tim Adelman and Aaron Nola. Let's take a look really quick. Open him up, man. Open up Adelman, see how he's been doing over his last few starts. Negative 0.1, negative 6, 17, 19, 2.6. No, we can. Nola is attackable. Nola is attackable in this spot. Looking at Aaron Nola, man, a guy has had a couple of good starts this year, man. 19.5 against Pittsburgh, 4.6 against the Mets. That's when they were mashing. 17 against Washington, 20 against Washington. So the dude does have some potential. Now, do you want to play that, especially as a right-hander, against some of that left-handed power that we do see for Cincinnati, most notably Joey Votto? I don't think we have to go there. I don't think we have to go there. I don't think we have to go to pitching in either of these games. 9-run total. That's a fair amount of runs. The game should play without any incident at all. I wouldn't hang my hat on Adelman or on Aaron Nola. That's not. I don't want to scrape. Just say no to Nola. It's coming from Brad. Yeah, I don't want to scrape the bottom of the pot, man, and go that deep with it. So those are not guys that I'm going to be interested in. Actually, give me some of the bats, especially from the Cincinnati Reds side in this game too. That's where I'm going to be with that. So next game we got is the New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I believe we've got Jacob deGrom. His start got pushed back a day. And we got Chad Kuhl on the other side for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's open up DraftKings, take a quick look, make sure we're going to be seeing those guys here. Kuhl, deGrom. There it is. There it is. So, okay, of course, deGrom is always in play. We know the trouble that we've seen from the Pittsburgh Pirates bats at certain parts for the season. But, yo, they've been hitting lately. Pirates been hitting lately. When I played them against deGrom, no. And deGrom is one of those aces, or can be one of those aces that, you know, I'm not going to say, yo, if you're not playing them, you should be attacking them. That's reserved for the mid-level guys who I don't really like, who everybody else is going to be on. You know, you look at guys like Scherzer, guys like deGrom, guys like Bumgarner when he's healthy. Those guys, Chris Sale. I'm not going to attack those guys if I'm not playing. I can just safely fade them and don't play them. Okay? I'm just going to safely fade them and don't play them. I don't have to attack those guys. You're kind of asking for trouble. On a 14-game slate, there's other places you can go to make some money. So I wouldn't suggest, if you're not playing Jake deGrom, I would suggest you just don't play him. I wouldn't suggest attacking him in this spot. Now, taking a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates, their numbers should be improving. Looking at the K rate for the Pirates, I think they've been a pretty disciplined team over the last few games. I've got them right here, 28th in the league in K rate at 19% K rate. That's pretty good. The further down you are on this list, the better you are at the plate as a team. So, you know, you want to curb your enthusiasm. You know, while you still could see deGrom go out there and throw between 7 to 12 Ks, you don't want to. If that's what you're looking for, a 12K game, you could get 7. Is what I'm saying from deGrom in this spot. So, taking a look at the team WOBA for the Pirates here. I think they're down here. 27th in the league in Team WOBA, 301. That's not very great at all. It really isn't. You look at the team ISO 140. So this is definitely an attackable squad, man. You can definitely play some deGrom in this spot. I do have some small trepidation, man, because they held him out. They held him out for a reason. You know, deGrom is 600 less than Scherzer. Bad price point. That's coming from Kevin Vu. Because you can pay up 600 more and get Scherzer. We're going to talk about that in just a moment when we do get to Scherzer. So, next game we got is going to be the San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals. Yo, the Nats are looking heavy right now. I mean, they've been even when they're not playing well, they've still been playing well. You know what I mean? I can't play 12K for deGrom when Scherzer is less. 1K more versus, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, and this is what we got. We got Scherzer at 12.7, and we've got Luis Perdomo at 5.2. Perdomo is a no play for me. I'm not going to be playing. I'm not going to play a pitcher against the Nats twice in a row, man. I think they could be in a spot where they do explode. 13 mile per hour toward right field, 0% chance of rain, 72 degrees, 8-run total. I think most of those runs will be scored by the Washington Nationals because we know Scherzer is going to hold down the Padres, man. And he's stone cold. I'm going to highlight Scherzer. Scherzer is stone cold in this spot. I've got no issue with playing Scherzer here. Okay? Perdomo had a really solid start out last time, I think. The time before that, because he got hit by Arizona, -13. And before that, against Milwaukee, 21. So he's not a guy that I can look to at all in this spot against. Especially, man, especially the lefties, man. The Washington lefties should really get it in. They should really get it in this game. Lafayette Payne says, play Rendon. Yo, I'm in a space with Rendon that I was in with Thames when he went on that run, where I'm like, this dude can't keep doing this. There's no way he's going to hit a home run. And the difference this time was I wasn't playing Thames and he was doing all that shit. I've been playing Rendon. Fuck it, I've been playing Rendon, and I've been reaping the benefits. So, can he do it again? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But he's on a killer streak right now, man, hitting jacks. He is so hot right now. That's coming from Tone Loc, man. Lafayette Payne just says just play Rendon. So I'm going to have some exposure to a few of these Nats bats. I can tell that already. Max Scherzer is also a guy who was definitely in play. The next game we're going to be talking about is the Texas Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays. This is going to be a good one, man, because you know. Now, see, this has Mike Bolsinger at 4.5, and I knew this is wrong because I heard that the homie with the good hair is going to be on the mound for the. That's for the Rays. That's for the Rays. That's for the Rays. Let's check it. I'm so excited to talk about him. That's like my man crush, bro. I'm so excited to talk about this dude that I'm like jumping the gun. We do have AJ Griffin, Mike Bolsinger. Okay, that's what we got for the Toronto Blue Jays. Bolsinger, last start, 7 points, a -1, 12. No, can't use that. Don't really love him in this spot. Kind of likes the Texas Rangers lefties here. 6.7. You got AJ Griffin, who I think he had a pretty decent start the last time I saw him. -10, 3 point. I'm thinking about that 34.25 points game he had against San Diego. The last time I played him, last time I saw him on my roster, he had a good game, and that was then. 34, 23, 32, really solid stretch there with Oakland, Houston, and San Diego. But you know, can you play him against Toronto? Toronto's been pretty hot lately, man. Let's go and take a look at them and see what they've been doing. We got the Blue Jays here when it comes to K rates. I believe they've been a pretty disciplined team at the plate, right at middle of the pack. 21.1% K rate, 160 ISO, 305 WOBA. Not a lot to love here, but I do like the fact that they just don't go out and strike out in the top 5 of the league. So guys you might be able to take a look at are going to be some of those Toronto bats. And you know, anytime you got a nice lefty righty matchup here, it can get off for you. It can help you because you got Justin Smoke, you've got Ryan Goins, who's been hitting the ball really well lately. There's some guys you can take a look at. 9.5 run total. I think we can have some exposure in this spot. I already told you I like some of those Texas lefties, so that's how we're gonna attack that one. Okay. Next game we got is the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox. We've got Eduardo Rodriguez, 8.8 against Giovanni Gallardo. And we know how well the Mariners can hit against left-handed pitching, man. You think about Segura, Heredia. Robinson Cano is the only guy that really struggles against lefties. He does. We saw Nelson Cruz lift a jack out today. So you can look to guys like that. So, you know, not going to be loving on Eduardo Rodriguez. I think the point total here is enough for me to get interest in some of the bats and not really have to, you know, rely on pitching in this spot. Batista has been deadly lately. That's so true. That is so true. Rangers and Jays hate each other, coming from Josh Dewey. What's up, Josh Dewey, big homie? 6 mile per hour wind going out toward right field. There's 23% chance of light rain. You must pay attention to this here. 61 degrees there. You got Giovanni Gallardo. Let's check out DraftKings just to make sure we've got the correct bats in this spot. That is correct. That's definitely. So, Gallardo 4.7, man. Very cheap price on him. Don't really want to play pitchers against Boston, man. They haven't been like setting the world on fire, but you know, this is really risky. And you know, I know a lot of times you're gonna want to have to find something. You're gonna have to find something if you're paying up for Scherzer. You're gonna have to find a pitcher, but I don't think you have to pay all the way down to 4.7 in order to get, you know, a couple of pitchers that you feel comfortable with and still get some bats that you like. Yeah, you don't have to do that. That's our job. Is to find that guy that we can pair with our stud pitcher to be that starting pitcher too, to where we still have bats that we feel comfortable with. Okay, and I don't think we come across that guy yet. So no Rodriguez, no Gallardo, but I will consider. No, I won't. No, I won't, because I love a couple of these bats tomorrow. I love a couple of bats tomorrow, the righties. So no, I won't do that. I won't do that. Next game we got is the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Indians. This game is going to be in Cleveland, man. Progress Field. 4 mile per hour wind here, coming back towards shallow right field. 0% chance of rain. 66 degrees is the temperature. 56 dew point. 72% humidity. You got Ian Kennedy against Mike Clevenger. Now, I played Mike Clevenger a couple of times this year, man, when he's had solid starts. 33.35, 23.7. You know, this is a guy that has really good stuff, man. If he's in command and in control, he can go out. He can rack up some Ks. He really can. And I love to attack the Kansas City Royals when it comes to pitching. Especially, I like the fact that Mike Clevenger is a very solid right-hander. As we know, the Royals do struggle against right-handed pitching. The only items that we do have to kind of fear when it comes to those Kansas City Royals are going to be guys like Moustakas, guys like Eric Hosmer, or people that can kind of grab a hold to that right-handed pitching. But I like it. I like Clevenger tomorrow. I am going to be on Clevenger. I'm going to be on Clevenger. I kind of like him tomorrow. I think he's in a solid spot. Yeah, I like Clevenger. Clevenger is at 8K, 8K, a solid straight up 8K. I think I can get with that. I like Clevenger tomorrow. Ian Kennedy 7.2, very cheap price, and for good reason, because he's facing one of the better offenses in the league here. So let's go ahead and make sure, because it says Salazar right there. Yeah, it is Clevenger. It is Clevenger. He just lit up Houston. Him and Scherzer, what if you can fit it? I think you can. I think you can. Ian Kennedy has not been great over the last couple of games, or few games. 2.9, 17.6, 15.5, but did flash that 35-point upside against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Don't think I need to get there today. Not a guy that I like. 7.2 for Kennedy. Might as well go ahead and pay up the 800 more for Clevenger and be done with it. I would rather do that. So I do like Clevenger. I'm going to go ahead and highlight him as a guy we can take a look at, most certainly. Next game we got is going to be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Miami Marlins. In this spot, we've got Dan Straley priced at 7.5K against the Angels, man. Jesse Chavez. Chavez had a decent start out last time, if I'm not mistaken, at 10.5, 20.15. So hasn't been like completely horrible all year long. Is a guy that did let us down in a couple of spots, but he's been fairly consistent. But against the Miami Marlins, man, they can hit, especially at home. I think at home, the Marlins are pretty decent. The Marlins are pretty decent at home, and I love the fact that you're going to see some of these left-handed bats against Jesse Chavez. I think I can take a shot with some of those Miami left-handers and leave Jesse Chavez alone. Dan Straley, another guy, has had tremendous success, tremendous fair. I mean, he's been up and down. The worst game of the season was his first game. After that, you've got that 4.45 point performance against Tampa Bay, but 22 against the Dodgers last time out, 15 against Houston, 20 against St. Louis. Dude is really solid, and I think at home is where he really has been most consistent. His worst two games were away, so I think he's been more consistent at home. He had his best game of the season away, but he's been more consistent at home. I think I can take a shot at him. The only guy that I fear in this lineup is going to be Mike Trout. But at 7.5K, that's a quality pitcher I can have to pair with Scherzer and still feel good about some of the bats that I can get in my lineup. So that's the way I am going to be attacking it in some spots. So I will highlight Dan Straley here. Next game we got is going to be the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros. I can tell you, this is one of my favorite games on the slate. I love this game. I love this game because 14 mile per hour wind, right, in a dome, 0% chance of rain. You got Guzman, you got Musgrove, both guys that can give it all the way up. I do like quite a few Baltimore bats in this spot. I think I can take some shots here. Love the fact that you're going to see them as an underdog, so I don't see a ton of ownership going toward the Baltimore Orioles' way in this spot. They are away from Camden Yards. People are not going to want to play them. I kind of like a few of these guys. All right. You got Joe Musgrove, 7.6. Taking a look at him. -5 against Cleveland, 19 against Miami, 17 against Atlanta. Had some ups and downs, man. Hadn't been, particularly terrible. But Kevin Guzman, bro, horrible. 12, -3, 28, -3, 3, like he's been horrible all year long. And if that doesn't tell you that you can play a few of the Cleveland bats, I don't know. I mean, Houston bats, I don't know what else will. I don't know what else will. So I can definitely take a shot at the bats in the spot. I like that. Next game we got is going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. It's game 2. We're not going to be seeing Ryan Braun. He's probably going to be on the DL. We've got Zach Godley and Junior Guerrera on the mound. Let's take a look at DraftKings just to make sure this is the correct. Bam, it is correct here. So, this game kind of let us down last night. We expected this game to be a huge, scoring explosion. Oh, man, it's going to be hits everywhere, home runs, blah. Everybody's going to be going ham. And, I'm not convinced that can't happen still. So I will be taking a look at some bats in the spot. Do not like either pitcher. If I was to pick a pitcher, it would be Zach Godley. In his last start, man, last couple of starts, 26, 23, and then 6.35. Really good ones against Detroit and the Mets. So he is a guy that I think should be in consideration when you look at a Milwaukee order that does strike out a lot and is playing without Ryan Braun. You might want to take a look at that guy. He can definitely help you pay up for some of that high dollar pitching and still get the bats that you want. So next game we got is the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. We're looking at Chris Archer, the big homie. That's my dude. Y'all know I fuck with Chris Archer. That's my guy. 11.4K, love him. Now see, he is a guy that I can rock with in this spot. Minnesota, they have one guy that hits really well against right-handed pitching, Sano, and he's going kind of cold lately. Archer is a guy that can rack up Ks. I'm talking 10, 12 Ks easily. He can do that, which would make up for any runs that he gives up as long as he goes 6, maybe 7 innings, puts in that much work. Okay, 6 mile per hour wind going out toward left field, 2% chance of very light rain. Yes, I'll play away from home. Yes, in my opinion, man, Chris Archer is the next young ace pitcher, bro. I'm not even concerned with any of his numbers from last year. I'm looking at all of what he's been doing so far. And we still have not yet to see that signature Chris Archer game. I mean, yeah, he dropped 40 on Kansas City, but I mean, against a decent team, away from the crib, go out, mow cats down, get your 12, 13 strikeouts, go ham. We haven't seen that from him yet. And I think we could see that tomorrow. I do like Chris Archer. He's got to be on. If I don't have Scherzer in the lineup, I'm going to have Chris Archer. That's how I feel about him. I am on Chris Archer in this spot. And for that simple fact, oh yeah. I'm on him. 8.5 run total. That is a little more than I would like it to be. Because generally when you have a guy like this on the slate, or once a guy is considered to be that top-notch pitching prospect, you rarely see totals over 8. Usually it's 8 or 7.5. And this right here kind of tells us that he's not getting the proper respect I think he deserves. I like Chris Archer in this spot. I'm going to be playing him. No Hector Santiago for me. I'm going to go ahead and snap on to Chris Archer. I'm going to have him in a couple of lineups. No Santiago for me. Even though, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we say no Santiago, we know that the Rays, man, they strike out a ton. And his last 2 starts were not very good. But here, you see that he did have some very solid starts here. And at 6K, that might be a guy you can look to. Okay, at 6K against a team that does strike out a ton is to be facing the lefty on lefty crime in this spot. Now, I'm sure they're going to reconfigure the order and get some more right-handed bats in there. Now's where you're probably going to see a guy like Ricky Weeks and shit like that. But you can't hide Kiermaier. You can't hide Logan Morrison. You can't hide all these left-handed bats. So I'm going to give some consideration to Hector Santiago. I really am. I'm going to give him some consideration. I am. Next game we got is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Colorado Rockies. 3% chance of very light rain. Guess what, baby? We got Coarse Field on the slate, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You listen to the pundits. You go out and check them out. This is what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you this. You gotta pay up for pitching. You gotta roster all the bats in Coarse. Never play a Coarse pitcher. And I'm here to tell you all of that is bullshit. You don't always gotta pay up for pitching. You can grab mid-level pitchers. You don't have to play Scherzer on the slate. There's no pitcher that's a must-play. Okay? Especially when there's a couple of them. You can play pitchers in Coarse, and you don't have to fill your team up with bats from Coarse. You got Antonio Senzatella at 5.9. You got Carmart at 8.9. And I'm telling you, this could be a spot where we see it's a 10.5 run total. Oh, my God. Oh, Coarse is on the slate. Oh, my God. Coarse on the slate. Do whatever. Roto guy tells us to do because Coarse is on the slate. They go crazy about this shit, and it's not even that serious. It's not even that serious, bro. Attack these games the same way you would any other game, man. I'm telling you. Don't let it fluster you, bro. You don't have to do that. Because I guarantee you, first things first, both of these pitchers are going to be less than 3% on. Less than 3% on. Both of them. You can book that. Mark that down. Both of these pitchers are going to be less than 3% on. Now I'm going to tell you, one of them is going to get the win. One of them is going to get some strikeouts, a win, and have a decent game at super low ownership. Okay? At super low ownership. One of them going to do that. It's our job to find out who will, because nobody wants to play that guy. Now, does ownership matter as much? Does ownership matter as much on a 14-game slate? Yes and no. It doesn't matter because everybody's ownership is going to be pretty low because it's 14 games. But it does matter when you're paying down. It matters more that Antonio Senzatella gets me 25 points than Carlos Martinez gets me 25 points. Because if Antonio Senzatella gets me 25 points, that means I've got that much left in salary, $3,000. Separate these two in salary that I can spend in other spots. So if we see the Colorado Rockies going out there and mashing, scoring a ton of runs at home, because they do play well at home. Lafayette Payne, big homie, says he won $3,000 playing Gio Gonzalez in Coarse. He knows I'm right about this. This is great. And then you see those guys that tell you all day, don't play pitchers in Coarse, play bats in Coarse. You look at their winning lineup and they play the pitcher in Coarse. They played that guy in Coarse that went ham. So don't be afraid of this, man. Do not be afraid of this. That's not how we rock it. We ain't scared of shit. We tournament players. Let me tell you something. They hate our tournament style. One of the homies hit a big lick, 100K last week, and now he going ham. I'm talking about he in all the high dollar tournaments. And the way he playing is the same way he played when he was playing with $5. He played the same way with 500 as he playing with 5,000 and killing them. Because we ain't scared, bro. We ain't never scared. We ain't never scared. And we coming for them. That's what we do. We shark hunting, baby. So, that rule is for newbies, coming from Charles Jarvis. So, yeah, don't get hung up on those rules, man. Play guys you like. If you like them, you think in a good spot, fuck it, play them. Play them. And it'll be a great deal. Like, if you Carlos Martinez, he does not really, the risk involved with Carlos Martinez is not great. On an 8-game slate with Carlos Martinez in Coarse Field, you think he's in a good spot, you play him, he scores 30 points, it wins you a tournament. On a 14-game slate, it kind of doesn't because everybody's ownership is going to be low, fairly low. But Senzatella get you 25, 30 points on a 14-game slate, it helps you a ton because you've got $3,000 in salary to invest in bigger bats. Okay? Think about that. That's real talk. Next game we got is going to be the Chicago Cubs and the LA Dodgers. This should be a good one, man. I kind of like this. This is going to be a duel. We got Jake Arrieta and Alex Wood. The Dodgers are at home. Loving some Alex Wood in this spot. I just do. I like Alex Wood. I love the fact that you have such high power offense in the Chicago Cubs in only a 7.5 run total. Now we do have 6-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field, 64 degrees, 0% chance of rain. You're gonna see all of the usual suspects here. Guys like Chris Bryant are gonna garner a lot of ownership. I can dig it. I see why, especially against left-hand pitching. But yo, Alex Wood, man, he's been really, really good. 23, 33, 35, 18, 22 over his last 5 starts. That's nice. In Colorado, 33. In Colorado, 33. You know what I'm saying? At 6.8K. That he made the difference in GPPs that day. That's an example of what we were just talking about. Okay? So, no, Alex Wood is tough, man. He is very tough. Alex Wood is tough. All right, so and we got Jake Arrieta, who's been pitching pretty well lately as well. 9.2K for him. 25, 10, -2, 21, 1.9, 20, 13, 30. Not as well as I initially thought, but decent nonetheless. So Alex Wood is a guy I am gonna take a look at. Let me go back and highlight the homie. I'm sorry I'm telling you who I'm playing, but that's just what I do. I like to tell y'all who I like, and I'm gonna target Antonio's under 10 in this spot. Colorado's pitching has been fairly good this year. All right, so going back to that. No Arrieta for me against the Dodgers. Don't really love them. Dodgers they can hit right-handers. Don't really love Arrieta, but I do like Alex Wood in this spot. Last game on the slate, and the late game is going to be Atlanta Braves and the San Francisco Giants. 8-run total, 9-mile-per-hour wind, AT&T Park. You got Matt Cain against one of those scrappiest teams in the league who haven't been super scrappy lately. Matt Cain could be the late-night hammer of the night, coming off a really bad performance against St. Louis, -7, 22 against the Dodgers, 9.65 against the Mets. Matt Cain does have the stuff. He does have the stuff. Whether, we're going to see it or not is why they play the games. But he does have the stuff. And against these Braves, man, they've been up and down. I think they got hammered by Pittsburgh earlier today. And, travel, flying San Francisco, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, flying. Shit is real. Jet lag, shit like that. I don't know. Shit is real. I might want to take a look at Matt Cain in the spot. He might be a guy that I like. Okay? Now, also, you look at Jaime Garcia in this spot. Let's make sure on DraftKings these are the guys that we're going to be seeing. Because I kind of think that pitching in this game altogether is somewhere where I can go. Altogether, on either side. Because, the Giants haven't been exactly tearing the cover off of the ball. Neither have the Braves. Let's go see where both teams stack up in the way of K rates. Okay, we got Braves are 20th in the league in K rate, fairly disciplined, 20.4, 150 ISO, 325 WOBA. Not bad, not bad. Chris Taylor is the new star of the LA Dodgers, coming from Dylan Zink, our resident Dodgers enthusiast. Also, taking a look here at the San Francisco Giants, where they sit as far as K rates, 21st, right below the Braves in K rate at 20.3 with a 126 ISO, do not hit for a ton of extra bases, and a 280 WOBA. So I think both pitchers are in play here. I do. Let's look at Jaime Garcia, the lefty. 27 in his last start against Washington Nationals, man. That came out of nowhere. And I think, that's kind of a telltale sign of how decent this guy can be. So I like pitching from both. I like both of these pitchers. I'm going to highlight both of them and take a look at them. A closer look, most certainly. So now is the time we're going to go ahead and jump into some BVP stuff, kind of get a good look at where we might want to roster guys in terms of batter versus pitching analysis. Okay. Here we go. Now, what I've done is going up to average. So we're just going to start with batting average, and we're looking for sample size. We're looking for a solid amount of sample size, not just like 2 or 3 or 4 at bats. We're looking to see, how well guys have done, with history against a specific pitcher. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to scroll down and look this over some and see what jumps out to us. Jaime Garcia, Buster Posey, batting 516 at bats, got a home run and 2 strikeouts, no walks. That could be something we could take a look at. A Brady, that's not big enough for me. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. See if we got some interesting BVP stuff here. Really not, man. Of course, Mike Trout against Dan Straley, batting 474 with a home run and 4 strikeouts. That's something we can take a look at. You've got Albert Pujols. He's probably not going to play. But if he does play, you might want to take a look at that because he's getting close to that 600 mark, man. So you want to be there for those last 3 home runs as he approaches 600 career home runs. Pedroia against Gallardo. Pedroia got taken out of last night's game, so he might not play. So we need to keep our eyes peeled for that. Melky against Matt Boyd. I don't know why it says Matt Boyd. You got Xander. No big time BVP spread I see so far, bro. Besides Trout, but you already know what time that is. You got Upton against Pelfrey. That's in the first game because it's 15 games tomorrow. That's in the first game. I think Detroit, Chicago, I believe. Beltran against Guzman, batting 333 with a home run. And see, this is big. In 16 at bats, he never struck him out. I like that. That kind of speaks to contact, man. I kind of like that. He's still scoring. Curtis has 15 right now. Okay, good. What else we got here? We got not a ton, man, of BVP with a lot of shit to look at, man. I mean, we got Matt Kemp against Matt Cain batting 259 with 4 jacks, 15 strikeouts. So that's a ton of strikeouts. So not much in the way of BVP. Nothing completely overwhelming me here, with the exception, of course, of Mike Trout, maybe some Carlos Beltran against Guzman. You got Altuve against Guzman. It's only 6 attempts, so not a lot to look at as far as BVPs goes, but some solid shit nonetheless. Looking over it again once more, let's take a look at the guys that we kind of highlighted as far as pitching goes. Let's take a look here. All right. So the guys that we got that we kind of like right now as far as pitching goes, we got Scherzer, Archer, Alex Wood is a guy we like, Mike Clevenger, Dan Straley, Jaime Garcia, Matt Cain, Antonio Senzatella for the cheap. Those are going to be the guys that I'm going to have in my initial pitcher pool. We're going to fine-tune that tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the line drive at 5. I'm going to my son's graduation. Last time it was the rehearsal. Now I'm doing the real thing. I'm going there. I'm leaving here at about 8 a.m. Get down there, man. Partake of my son's graduation. Hightail it on back home so I can jump into the line drive at 5 with you lovely people. If you are not a part of the DFS Sweatshop, get in here, man. This is where you want to be, bro. We chop it up. 5 p.m. every day. Line drive at 5 is where we really break shit down. Position by position is not the way we do it. We do it stack by stack, game by game. We analyze the complete game. So thank you all so much for joining me here in the Sweatshop. Remember, go check out the website, www.dfssweatshop.com. Also, there's going to be an article released called Guru's Guides, where I kind of give you a look at who I like as far as my bats go. And I'm just going to throw you a hint. Sometimes my stacks come from those guys. So go check that out on the website. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do to help the boy out. If you want to support the show, there's a box over there that says support the show. Also, you can patronize my personal PayPal at Maurice Simmons 95. Go hit the PayPal up if you need to drop me a little piece. Don't forget to tip your waiter. Hold it down. Much love to you. Shout out to everybody out there. The number one thing I want y'all to do is make some lineups in the turbos, tournaments in Maine, and always keep it 300.